Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I wanted to show you how to replace engine motor mounts on your car. Now in front of me I have a 1999 Infiniti G20 that comes with an SR20 engine. This procedure that I'm going to show you is going to be very similar to a lot of Nissan vehicles that were produced around this time frame. So if you have a Nissan Sentra, a Nissan Altima, and a Nissan Maxima, it's going to have a very similar setup as far as how the engine is supported. So I do hope this video helps you out. In front of me, I have some of the tools and equipment that you're going to need when you guys are replacing your engine motor mounts. So I have a jack and jack stands. You're going to need some ratchets, a breaker bar, a piece of wood to support the engine. And you're also going to need a good set of sockets and wrenches as well. Once your vehicle is safely supported by jack stands, go ahead and get underneath. Go ahead and locate your engine mounts. On my particular car, we have one in the front right here. This one is in very bad condition and it's cracked all the way. Now the one in the rear is basically the same story. As you guys can see, this one is in worse condition than the one in the front. This one has actually ripped through completely, so it does need to get replaced as soon as possible. Go ahead and start by removing this splash shield. It's held down by 10mm fasteners. Just for fun, I'm going to show you how bad the engine moves when the engine mounts are bad. Go ahead and get your jack and support the engine. Make sure that you use a piece of wood so you don't damage your oil pan. To remove the front engine mount, go ahead and get a setup like the one that I have here. So I have a breaker bar with an extension, a 14mm socket, and I also have a 3/8 ratchet with a 14mm socket. What you're going to be using the ratchet for is to hold down the nut side of the fastener, and you're going to use the breaker bar to break the nut loose. Now that we have removed this bolt, we're going to go ahead and go towards the back of the engine and remove the same bolt on the rear engine mount. This is how you would remove the rear engine bolt. Go ahead and go towards the middle where the flex pipe and the cross member meet. So right here there is a small opening. That small opening should be enough for you to fit a ratchet in there. So let me go ahead and demonstrate how that would look. Once you break the bolt loose, go ahead and remove it. It is going to be very crowded in there, so go ahead and push down on the flex pipe to give you enough clearance to pop the bolt out. Next, what you need to do is remove the cross member bolts. There is in total of 4 of them. There is 2 in the front and 2 in the rear. They are all 17mm. Go ahead and use your breaker bar and break them loose. Also, make sure that you do have a jack supporting the engine, because if you remove these, it can be possible that the engine drops low enough where it can hit you. This is how your cross member is going to look like once you remove it from your vehicle. As you guys can see, the motor mounts are completely destroyed. To remove the old motor mount out of the cross member, what you need to do is get a 14mm socket and remove this 14mm bolt. There's one here and one over here. Once you install your new motor mounts on the cross member, go ahead and put this back on the car. I found out that the easiest way for you to install this on the car is to first install the bolts through the brackets that hold down the motor mounts. I did go ahead and put my motor mount back on. As you guys can see, it's bolted down to the bracket of the engine. Now you're going to notice that the cross member is not lining up with the frame of the vehicle. In order to solve that, you're going to have to raise up the engine. So go ahead and get your jack, and you're just going to support the cross member until the holes line up with the frame. Once you install the rear part of the cross member, go ahead and do the same thing to the front. Use your jack to lift up the front part of the cross member to line up the holes. To replace the passenger side motor mount, you're going to need to remove 3 fasteners holding it down to the engine. On this vehicle, we only have one right here, but you should technically have one on this side, one right here, and one right here. You're also going to need to remove that fastener right there. These are all going to be 14mm, by the way, so just go ahead and remove it by doing the exact same thing. Go ahead and get your jack underneath the oil pan and lift up the engine a little bit so that you can remove those fasteners. Now that you have removed that bolt, go ahead and remove the fastener that goes through the motor mount that connects it to this bracket. You're going to need 2 ratchets, one to hold this side and another one to remove it from this side. This is a side-by-side comparison between the 2 motor mounts. As you guys can see on this one, it's pretty much worn out. It's cracked on both sides, so it does need to get replaced. I am going to be replacing it with the used motor mount right here, but it's in good shape still, so I think it should be fine. Install your replacement motor mount by doing the opposite of what we did to remove it. I actually ended up figuring out why there's only one bolt on this car, and that's because the other ones are either rounded out or there's a broken fastener in there. So we're gonna have to replace the bracket in order to mount this correctly, but we're gonna leave that for another day. This is going to wrap up the video. If you did find the information helpful, please make sure to give me a thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed to my channel, please consider for more videos like this. I hope everybody has an awesome day, and I'll see you guys all in the next video.